Hey guys, I thought we'd get started a little early here tonight. And I'm waiting for my stream to start over on YouTube so I can mute it here real quick. Why do I always get the same commercial? Skip. How you guys doing tonight? I guess there was some controversy on what time it started. I had it set for 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is Greenwich Mean Time. I think I'm a -7. Hey, Steve. Hey, Bill. How's everyone doing? What we're going to do tonight, and we're going to do it live, is we're going to pull the quill out of this drill press and take a look at the splines. And I picked this drill press because the quill pops out really easily. The Walker Turners had what they call a quick change quill. And this is going to apply to pretty much anything, even like your bridge ports and things like that. Hi, Glacius. It said 9 p.m. your time. That's weird. Now, everyone's probably experienced it. You're on the drill press and you're down feeding and the thing's running and it feels kind of jumpy. And you know, even though you're not drilling into anything, you can feel a jump in there. And the power is getting transferred from the upper drive to the lower drive via the splines. And it works like a slip yoke on a vehicle. And I thought we'd go over pulling those out and greasing them with a proper type of grease, a high pressure grease, and eliminate that. And now this is easy to pull out. A Bridgeport, pulling the quill out isn't too bad. There are a few things you have to do in order to get the quill out of them, but they do come out of the bottom. You don't have to pull the upper drive off. And what a lot of people don't really think about is there's not just 2 bearings in this setup. There's 4. There's 2 bearings in the top, which are the drive, which is the actual where the belt runs, and that's your female spline. And then the quill, there's more bearings in the quill, and that's got your male spline. So there's actually 4 bearings in there. And the splines are capable of linear motion in this direction, but they're also applying rotational force. So they're responsible of doing 2 different things, and they have to be well lubricated or you'll get a real funny feel to them. All right, who's showing up here? Mr. James Green. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Sorry that Boyer Schultz cover didn't fit. A viewer sent that in. He thought it would fit mine. All the regulars are here tonight. IL Gopher, how you doing, Ryan? BC Block, how you doing, Brian? Steve? Aren't we just a tight bunch? How's the sound, everybody? I got my blue going over here. Hi, Dan. How you doing? Hi, Paul. Okay, I was kind of waiting. Sound is good. Okay, thank you, Shadow. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, Felix. Good on sound. Okay, let's get this thing apart, and we're going to go ahead and start this up a little bit. First thing we're going to do, like we always do, we're going to unplug it. All right, we're going to power it down. And like I say, taking a Walker Turner apart is no big deal. Let's pop the, I got a pin here to get the chuck out. I'm going to swing the table out of the way. Got my cord caught. There we go. This is just a Morse taper 2 rig. And then we're going to get the stop nuts off. And we're actually ready to come out already. All we got to do is hyperextend the quill beyond the stop, and the quill and spindle just will fall right in your hand. So we're going to go like this, and she's out. And there's our splines. Well, one thing we are going to do is we're going to count how many spring turns there are back. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, right there. So I got 3 turns on that spring, so I can preload it. So let's take a look at that upper drive. I'm not seeing anything that jumps out at me yet. Well, what you're looking for is down the long axes of all these splines. You're looking for hooks or anything that can snag on the way down. Remember, you are applying rotational force, and it has to be capable of moving up and down. So this spindle comes out really, really easy. And the quill is going to have your high quality bearings in it. Down at the bottom, you're going to have an angular contact. Up above, more of a cheapie, probably just a standard radial bearing, but the quill has got the expensive bearings in it, and then the upper drive has got the cheapies in it. So let me start with some gloves. Should have done that in the first place. I'm going to get a pig here and put this off to the side for now. Let's see if we got any interesting comments. Lockout, tag out. Hey, I unplugged, man. I have a couple on my phone, but they're real short. If I had to abide by all the California regulations, this would be a much longer video. Yeah, I'd have to shut the power down to the whole property. No, we unplugged the machine, and the machine that plugs into the wall is a perfectly acceptable disconnection means. All right, let's wipe these splines down and get a good look at them. And then we'll talk about greasing them. Stick a flashlight up in there and look at the female end of it. But so far, I like what I see. I haven't done this. I think I might have done it once. I rebuilt this machine probably 2 or 3 years ago, and just kind of feeling guilty that I thought maybe I should do something with the quill and take a look at the drive splines. So let me get some rags on this subject here. I'm just using my fingernail and going down in each groove and cleaning it out. And when you do that, you're also feeling for anything that can catch. If there's a hook or anything on there, you know, if someone's using the drill press and they crash it or it locks up or does something funny, it can actually damage the splines. Now, something interesting, this can't be lubricated. There's no way in the top that you can get in there and lubricate these like you do a Bridgeport. Now, have you ever wondered why they tell you to put 5 drops of oil on top of the drawbar, bring the quill down 2 inches, and that's the reason for that. You're lubricating these drive splines with that. Those instructions are incomplete. What you need to do is put 5 drops on top of the drawbar, bring it down 2 inches, and then run it. And what that does is it's recessed down in the female spline, and when you start the machine, it slings out and gets into those splines. They never tell you that you need to run it, but that's the reason you put 5 drops of oil on top of the drawbar, is to lubricate the upper drive. All right, let's get a look at this here. And I'm not feeling anything on either side, either leading edge of any of these splines. They all feel really good. I can still see the original machine marks in it too. None of this was replaced when I acquired this machine. This machine is dated 1944. Now, I think we're in good shape. I'll let you guys have a look at that. What you'd see, if these were worn, you'd see an upper limit and a lower limit. And you'd see it, the splines have a narrow section somewhere if there was spline damage. Okay, so I think we're ready to re-grease and put it back together. I'd like to be able to use oil, but like I say, there's no lubrication port in the top. So we are going to use an actual grease on this that was a little more persistent. And what I'm choosing for this is a high pressure lube. Yeah, get that out of here. Let's take a look at these comments. Hey, Blue, how you doing? I have a 16-inch Walker Turner bandsaw that I restored. I strongly believe that you should upgrade to a new European Verispeed drill press and donate that dinosaur to my shop. Gary, that's an awesome idea. Let me think about that. Okay, I'm using an extreme pressure grease. This is the same grease I use in serviceable type bearings. If you are doing actual ball bearings with this, or the German type precision bearings, you only fill those cavities 1/3 with the grease on a high-speed bearing. So I've got a little bit of that here in this syringe. I prepared for my video ahead of time so I can get through this a little quicker. And I'm just going to coat these splines with that. And a little bit of this stuff goes an awful long ways. And this will probably be good. You know, this is kind of a daily driver for us. We use this drill press an awful lot. Sometimes we'll drag it out over into the fab side of the shop, and we'll do work over there. And when we start drilling holes, we do it all day. So, all right. Splines greased. I gave them 3 milliliters. Let's read the bottom row of comments here. Phil and Ray are watching from Ray's garage. Phil, answer your text. Hey, Ray, from Steve. Is that a lithium or a moly grease? I don't know. This is there's a low temperature, extreme pressure, withstands extreme loads, extremely water resistant, excellent for high speeds. Doesn't say. This is what was recommended to me for ball bearings. I don't think you use moly in ball bearings. It'll chew them up. This is very clear. It's like I don't know, the light's catching it in there. It's kind of a waxy looking substance. So I get that from my local bearing house, Thompson Industrial, my industrial supply. Only 3 milliliter finally applied. I think you should use a heavy moly on those sliding splines. Probably lithium if it's clear. Yeah, it looks like just kind of tan, Bill. Okay, we're ready to go back in. Does anybody remember how many turns? Which way did I turn it? You need to go back this way? No, this way. 1, 2, 3. she goes. I got my spring tension right. That feels good. And jumpiness gone. And at the bottom, I got an O-ring that I split. I just dropped that on here. It's the difference between that and that. So it gives it a nice cushion on the way back up. And then we put our stop nuts back on. Done deal. And these Walker turners are wonderful for having that quick change coil. You can switch it out from a Morse taper 2 to a Morse taper 3. You saw how long it took me. It took me longer to grease it than it did to take it out. So that's it. Done deal. Now your spring is a bit too tight for my liking. Really? It's just got a nice feel to it. Stanley, work has been extremely crazy. Is that what Phil says? What about the flashlight and looking up inside? I forgot to do that. This was all academic anyways. I just wanted to see if there was actually grease in there. About 8 or 10 months ago, it felt like it was running dry. And one of the guys complained about it, and we took it apart on the fly. We were in the middle of using it. We just took it apart in the middle of the day and greased it. But I just wanted to show you guys what it's all about and how easy it is to check. Any modern drill press is going to come apart just about this easy. All right, let's take a look at these comments, and we'll get caught up here. Tin 4, don't use Molly and ball bearings per Timken bearing. Yeah, I've been told that before. Don't you ever use Molly lube inside of ball bearings. I like the tight stand. Molly is for sliding, poly is for rolling, and lithium is just okay for both. Thank you, Brian. Hey, how you doing, Janus? Measuring splines is fun. No, measuring splines is not fun, especially not without a master gauge. Okay, well, we're ready to plug back in. We can run this thing now. My cord out of the way. And let the VFD power up, and it's ready to run. And those splines don't affect the overall noise, but they're going to affect you're going to get a sticky feel on the down feed. You're going to feel kind of a jumpy down feed. And Bridgeports too. I mean, I've taken mine apart in the Bridgeport, and Bridgeports get hammered. The splines are kind of small for the size of the machine. And I'll tell you what really tears them up is fly cutting and big face mills and stuff. Those interrupted cuts just hammer the hell out of your splines, so they need constant lubrication. Ray says, have I ever slid into Molly? That's a loaded question. Stan, turn on the AC. No, it makes too much noise. This is a Morse taper 2 in this spindle. Ray, I don't even know Molly. Boy, this conversation is going straight downhill. I'll show you a few things I've done to this drill press. And you guys might have seen this in some really old videos. Get you a little closer. And I'm hoping you can see what's going on over here on the side. There's a limit switch right here. I use that for tapping. And what I'll do is I'll move the stop rod up and down. Of the stop bolts. I'll move that up and down, and what that's going to do is it's going to drive it into reverse. So if I press the forward button, I'm spinning like normal, and if I'm power tapping, the quill comes down after the tap gets a hold of it. Now it's going to grab that switch on the side, and it's going to reverse the spindle and back it right back out. and then you start the cycle again. So I put a modern control group on this machine a long time ago. I had a bunch of holes I had to tap, and it's been nice. I mean, I left I left that little bit of control on there, and I've used it several times since then. So that's some of the upgrades to this machine. This machine was bought from the U.S. Navy at an auction down in San Diego. It was on board of a ship that got decommissioned. And like I said, it's dated 1944. It helped win the war, so why wouldn't I keep it? And let me put you back out here. There we go. And now what we're talking about here, not Molly, but I hear her sister Polly goes round and round. Ray says use super lube. I thought Teflon was for cooking. Jana says that's slick Stan. I want that same for my benchtop mill. Limit switches. Yeah, that's a Omron sealed limit switch. It's potted and it has a cord permanently attached to it. Who needs a tapping head? I don't even own a tapping head, Bill. Old machine doesn't mean a bad machine. No, it doesn't. Hey, Herb Blair, how you doing, buddy? World War II production machine tools have the highest level of street cred. I don't know why. I mean, this has got the War Department tag on the back, and I've read the War Department specifications, which are interesting. It talks about remove no flashing, so all the cast iron flashings are left in. They primed them, but didn't paint them. There's a lot of things they didn't do just so they could get these things out the door quicker. So, I mean, we had a specification just for wartime on the fit and finish of things. And, you know, all the fits within the machine, all the mechanics were still there. But as far as the finishing and stuff, they didn't do it during the war. Always a live stream when you're working. I need to try the oil ring trick to get a softer stop. Yeah, it's just an O-ring. It's like I say, it's the difference between that and, like I say, it's just a split O-ring right there, and it's just a little rubber cushion to just gives it a nice quiet stop. Sounds like Grizzly adopted the old War Department specs. They probably did. Just stayed right along there with it. David from Australia. Hello, David. There's lots more war production. My Thompson grinder was a Defense Department machine. Tools for machines. Yeah, that was pretty good. Who uses rubbers? I don't know. Ray, are you guys drinking or what? Sounds like you're partying up there. Heavy thunderstorms in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sorry to hear that, James. Okay, guys. Well, if you got any other comments or any other questions for me, let's see what Herb says. The best thing I did in my shop was to modify my Delta drill press by adding a three-phase motor and a VFD. It is a wonderful thing. It's nice. I mean, you can, that's run, right now that's run at 30%. And I don't think I've ever changed the belt over to a different speed. I run it on the middle belt, and that's at 100% there. And, you know, that's plenty for a little 1/4 inch or a little 1/8 inch bit. I'm not really sure what RPM that is, but it's a lot. And then when I'm tapping, I can run this thing, I run it all the way down to there. And the thing's got tons of torque. You just can't stop that thing at the lowest speed. I run those torque boost VFDs. So I hate changing belts. Indeed, me too. I just leave it on the middle belt and run the VFD up and down. What about motor cooling with the VFD? Never had a problem. That is the original motor on this thing. It's an old open type drip proof motor. Never overheated. I put if I'm running at a low speed for long periods, I put my hand back there every once in a while, and never gets hot. And I've got the overload set. It's never tripped the overload. Ray Cornelia says he's worked for 27 days straight with no days off. Oh, Phil says that. Stan, have you ever used a Wilton 20-inch variable speed drill press? I've seen them. I've never run one. Stan, can you show again the reverse system? I blink and lose you. Yeah, I'll show it again. There's a limit switch over here on the side. Let me get the camera pointed at it. Right there by Ray's garage sticker. That's just for you, Ray. There's a limit switch right here. Up on here, I've just got a flat bar that I swing around on the flat bar. Now the flat bar engages that limit switch. I put the drill press into forward speed, and it's running hand. When I come down, if I come down to depth, like I said, I can adjust that flat bar. But when I come down to depth on a tap, it'll hit that limit switch and reverse it and back the tap right out. So now it's running in reverse. And to restart the cycle, you sit forward and keep going over and over. All right, let's put this back out here. That is an open motor, open type drip proof. All work and no play makes Ray a dull boy. That sucks, Ray. No, I think it's Phil that's saying that, not Ray. I've been running this thing with a VFD on it now for a better part of 3 years and no problems. No, it's not a TFC. You're welcome, Glacius. Is that how you say your name? James says, I'm ordering a Baldor TEFC 3/4 horse for my horizontal bandsaw on the first. I thought you got hooked up with a guy that had a saw motor. I've got a motor sitting here waiting for a bandsaw to show up. Motor sitting here waiting, and I've already got my channel sponsor, Marshall Wolf Automation, that's donating a full control group for that thing too. Funny, all my machines from the 40s and 50s have the original motors. The original motors are really good. Are those Wolf Automation buttons and box? No, this is I had a bunch of these control groups here. These are actually buttons for electric roll-up door. I had about 20 of these things. They were takeouts from a job. But Wolf Automation has these kind of boxes. As soon as I get a free weekend, I'll get you your new toy and you can play with your Johnson all you want. Actually, I got to go up to Livermore. You want me to swing by there and grab that saw or what? You use terms I do not understand. Blue, what terms are those? You're pronouncing my name very, very close. My name is weird even here in Brazil. Yeah, I'm calling it looks like Glacius. Oh my God, please. You want me to swing by there or what? I'm going to get them construction workers busy on that house for you. What a shaft. Thank you. Okay, guys. I mean, that's the end of this video. If you guys got any other open motor, open frame. Yeah, open frame motor or open motor, same thing. There's an open type and an enclosed type. OTDP, I'm sure you've seen that before. That's open type drip proof. That's a ventilated motor. It'll have the louvers and stuff in it. So that's an open type motor, and they cool better. They've got an internal fan, and then they've got another one called a TEFC. That's totally enclosed, fan cooled. So that's an enclosed motor, but the fan is outside of the enclosure and it cools the outside of it. Those are good for dusty conditions, you know, like on grinders and over in a fab shop and stuff like that. The enclosed motors are better because you don't get a bunch of grit in them. Stan, where in your shop will you be locating your new Johnson? Well, I need time with it. What I want to do with it, and this is kind of a surprise for next year's bash, we're going to do a video series on going through the thing, ripping it apart, sandblasting it, getting it all painted up, getting a fresh control group on it, new motor, and then we're going to give it away at next year's summer bash. So now the secret's out. So it's not my new Johnson. It's going to be a lucky viewer somewhere. But we're going to the trouble to do the rebuild, give it all fresh bearings, new motor, and a new control group courtesy of Marshall Wolf Automation. Nick Schneider says, what? So some lucky viewer is going to be winning a bandsaw, a nice bandsaw. And it's a Summer Bash Johnson. That's right. Okay, guys, you got any other questions or anything for me? Yeah, I hope you don't have to ship it to Australia or Germany or something. We got a guy here from Norway, I think, this year. Australia, Canada. We had a lot of visitors. Yeah. Oh, you better drive this year. We'll probably do like a separate thing for that, you know. Don't just put it in the regular raffle. We'll do maybe a separate raffle. So, you know, if someone doesn't want it or need it, you know, don't buy a ticket. You know, I don't want it to go to someone that doesn't really want it. So maybe we'll have like a separate raffle just for the bandsaw. Use your shaper to make splines. I have before in the past. Will Mr. Pete ever go to the bash? Probably not. 2 years in a row he's invited. 2 years in a row he declined. Whoever can load it themselves can have it. Yeah, he said he just wasn't into it. So there a lot of traveling and retired, and I just don't think he's going to ever come. Maybe we'll go to him. We'll go invade his house. Take all 300 of us over to his place. That'd be cool, right? Yeah, John Mills is working on coming over here. Okay, guys and gals, anything else for me? Road trip. What do you want worse? There, you want a fresh bandsaw, or you want a drill press? What do you think you need worse there, Gary? Drive an hour to see Mr. Pete. Yeah, where is he? He's in Ohio. Is it Ohio? Yeah, we got a brand new week upon us. I want everyone to be safe out there. Enjoy your week. Enjoy what's left of your weekend, the last few hours of your weekend. Go spend a little bit of time with your family. And hey, Mark, how you doing? What type of chuck do I prefer? I don't know. I got all kinds of chucks. I got the little Albrecht here. It's a nice little chuck for speed changes. I got Jacob's Super Chucks. These are good chucks. So no, I got all kinds of chucks that fit in this thing. I got little tiny ones with the sensitive feed for doing little tiny plastic stuff. So. Would it be a wood or metal cutting bandsaw? It's a metal cutting bandsaw. Ray Cornelia, see you later. Thanks for the teardown video. You guys, you bet, guys. Mark says, hey, Stan, may I ask a couple questions about anchor lube if you have time? If I know the answers, certainly. Shoot. It is, Dan, it's a horizontal bandsaw. It's a Johnson Model J. Look it up on the internet. Dake Johnson. Tools for machines. Yeah, I saw you got another one. You got 2 Incos now. No need for more bandsaws. I got 3. Oh, you got 3. I'm up for a road trip to see Mr. Pete. What material should you not use anchor lube with? I don't use it on aluminum. I just use WD-40 on aluminum. That works fine. I use it on steel. If I'm cutting high speed steel, I'll use it. All my carbide stuff, I just cut it dry. You know, I might use a little bit of coolant if the part's going to get hot, but if I'm using carbide, I don't use anything. If I'm using high speed steel, I use anchor lube. For hole sawing, broaching, drilling, tapping, like that. Mr. Pete should be in South Bend, Indiana with all his collection. That's the truth. Where did we say he was? Was he in Ohio or Indiana? Well, another thing you can do with anchor lube, you can use it on your bandsaw. If you don't have coolant on your bandsaw, you know, run the blade, take an acid brush, a little bit of anchor lube, and just kind of paint the blade and let it come all the way back around, and then use that on your use that with your bandsawing. With stainless, I could actually cut some titanium with it the other day. I actually cut titanium with high-speed steel, which completely sucks, but the anchor lube got me through the job. I have not tried it with Inconel. I have tried it with titanium. Illinois. Okay, there you go. Johnson Model J is about a 500-pound bandsaw. This is no joke. Cast iron base, cast iron legs, cast iron head. It's a pig. Steve says good night. Good night, Steve. Nick Schneider says he tried out an Inconel yesterday and it works great. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right. Good day from Australia. Hello. We're just finishing up here. I don't have any Inconel experience at all, so I'll just have to take y'all's word for it. Phil has Inconel hard rod. Okay. Inconel is tough stuff. Yeah, I've heard horror stories before. $91 are watching. Shoot for 100. Yeah, we will. Maybe next time. We got 19 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down. It's okay. Seco makes special inserts for us to cut our Inconel. Okay, nice. Okay, fellas. Well, I'm going to wrap it up and go start my Sunday evening. I still haven't had any dinner, so we're just closing up the shop. Thought I'd shoot a little bit here on the drill press, show you how to look at a set of splines and what to look for and what to feel for if you're using your machine. You know, you've got that kind of a grabby feel, and you'll feel it jump if your splines are going bad or running dry. Just running dry is a huge thing. Good night, Glacius. Good night, Stephen Lang. Good night, Bill De La Vega. Good night, Paul. Good night, Mark. Good night, Steve. Good night, Caveman's Man Cave. Toss some water on burning magnesium and you'll get more than 100 views. Yeah, that's the truth. Linda McKenzie. Hi, Stan. Hello, Linda. We're just closing up the show. Good night, David. Okay, guys, from me to you, have a good week and enjoy what's left of your weekend. From Barzy, good night.